Good morning. It's Thursday. Let's chat. I'm starting out here in the shop. I told you I had to do it in the shop because it has the nice table. It's not huge, but it's enough for me to baste my quilt. So basting the Bargello, I started yesterday. I spray basted with June Taylor Quilt basting spray, which I like better than their old one because it has a better scent. And you'll see I found the center of each layer, the 3 layers with the safety pin, so I could match the center as I adhered it all. Well, it's ready for me to put the top on, which is all base sprayed on the inside, on the back, which is going to adhere to this. But after yesterday, and I will put that video on of how I did it yesterday, I'll speed it up because it took me more than an hour. My back is sore today, so I decided, I came out and I thought, I'm going to do this maybe tomorrow or over the weekend and finish it off. But I will put the part 1 of the spray basting on it, and you'll see how I do that. What I'm going to do now, well, in this week I've done cross stitch and other things in my creative mind in my sewing room. So today what I'm going to do is go back and meet with my Zoe sisters, and I am just going to work on counted cross stitch. And when I get in there, I'll show you, I'll take a little picture or video of what I'm working on and how I'll finish it up, and I'll stick that on after you see the basting video. So that's my vlog for this week of sewing and stitching and quilting, and I will see you at the end to chat more. Okay, see you later. Bye. So this is part 1 because I didn't complete it because I was a little worn out at the end of this. I speeded up a little bit. What I'm doing right here is I'm measuring out the batting to make sure it's long enough. A hair longer than the backing is how I like it. A hair a little bit longer than everything. The batting is oversized to the front. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit. Working on a table that's not the full length of the king size quilt, you just have to make some variations and walk back and forth a lot. This batting is called Nature's Touch. I want to say by Peltex. It's a natural blend, 80 cotton to 20, and I guess I could have paused it right there so we could see more, but I'll note it in the notes. So I'm getting my safety pin. I found the center, so I'm putting a safety pin in the center. So when I lay it out, I can match center to center on it. So I found that center. Now I'm going to find the center of the Bargello, which is, you don't have to do it in this order. It looks a little clumsy because it's all so big. I've done it before on a smaller unit, and maybe another time I will lay it out on a smaller one. I'd already put the pin in on the back, so I want to put it wrong side up. And here I'm matching the pin to it. I'm kind of checking the size to see if it's the right size batting or if I need to add something to it. I'm a little bit leery because it's a little bit narrower than the backing, but the backing is much wider than the top. So if I match everything up, I can kind of see that it's going to fit. And I'm putting this wrong side up so I can match it up to check the spacing, but also so I can spray it while it's laying out here. What I do is I spray baste the back of the top and spray baste the back of the batting. I don't spray on the batting itself, the back of the backing. I don't spray baste the batting itself. And that's because it doesn't need to be. This spray baste is pretty nice because it doesn't have much of a scent. And I'm in a big, tall ceilings, it's well ventilated. So I can kind of feel where I've already sprayed because it's tacky. It's like spraying having the backside of a piece of tape, but it's not permanent, so you can stick it and then unstick it when you're done. I took a Craftsy class a few years ago, and I couldn't tell you which one it was, but it was, what she did was just spray basted the back of the backing, not batting, the back of the backing and back of the top, and then folded them up and set them aside. She said she did that whenever she finished something, and it stayed a long time. It didn't have to be positioned immediately. But I did try to position this immediately. I didn't save it. The top is still in the shop waiting for me to finish the actual sticking the top to the batting because I started getting a little worn out. But I kept touching it to make sure where the sticky parts were so I didn't overspray on or spray too much in one spot. So I didn't waste the spray. And what I did, I would have folded it differently next time. You'll see how I fold it together. Everything there is sticky, so I'm going to do the sides. Okay, so it's all done. So I'm folding it sticky side to sticky side. And I'm not like pressing it together, I'm just lightly folding, although it does stick together. It's a time-consuming process. It's not hard, but this large of a quilt presented more challenges to me to handle it and to get it set aside. I don't spray the batting, so I'm taking the batting off. Even though it might have gotten some overspray, it won't hurt anything. So I thought I'd try something like to just fold it in half and then I could stick half of it on there, but I would do it a little differently next time, and I might do it differently on the top, and you'll see what I mean if I do that. But here I need to spray the back of the backing for the quilt so it will stick to the batting. This process, even though the video is only like 15-16 minutes, the process took a little over an hour. I tried to speed it up as fast as my little program here would let me go.
so you didn't have to sit through all the craziness, but I left it all on so you could see the challenge and not feel bad when I didn't want to just put the easy parts on, the smooth, like, oh, this went on so nice, so that you could see how it really, in real life, works to spray such a large quilt. And I have a kind of a funky design wall there. My son is storing some stuff there, and he had a big board there, I don't know why, and my daughter-in-law positioned it so it wouldn't fall over, so I put a flannel back tablecloth on it, and as I went through boxes, as I was organizing my fabric out there, I just stuck some blocks up that I had been fooling with, and the one on there was my flawed attempt at a kaleidoscope quilt with just not fabric that worked for it very much, but I don't love it. I might take it apart and just make table runners or placemats or something with those hexagons. Okay, so now I'm laying the batting out with the center up. I thought it might do good. See, I'm finding the pin on that, and then I'm finding the pin on the backing, and I'm making sure the pinned part goes with the pinned part. Now, I made a bit of a mistake here because I had the safety pin up. I should have had it down so that I could take it off easier instead of having to go back in after I'd stuck everything to it. Now remember that backing is very sticky. So some of it's stuck to itself, and when I put it down, it's sticky. So it's smooth, 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 smooth. You lay it where you want it, you get your centers matched, and you try and make everything as straight as you can, and you smooth, smooth, smooth it out. Now it is stuck. When I lift it up, the batting is lifting up too, because they are married together. And I keep having to shift, and I did it, I just opened half of the quilt up, half of the batting up, because I thought, well, then I won't stick too much, but it wasn't a wise thing because then I had to open it all up. My mom is in the shop watching TV, sitting over in a recliner on my husband's side of the shop, and she's 93 years old. She lives with me, and so once in a while I call her over to help me because I can't quite do it. There she is. She's got to hold part of it while I hold part of it to flip it over. She can't do a lot, but she can help me out a little bit here and there. I thought if I just flipped it, I could just stick it to the other half, but it didn't work out, and I realized we'd had to open the whole thing up. I couldn't just do it in pieces. I like seeing it seeing my mom in it with it sped up, because she's kind of slow moving, and it's fun to see her moving a little faster like she used to, because she used to be such a good seamstress. She loved making quilts, but she's just a little bit slower now, poor thing. But she is able to help me when I need extra hands. She liked being over there because it's warmer there, because the way my son set up the heater there, kind of the fan blows right down on my area, so I'm always warm there, and her area is not so warm, but she was all covered up with a quilt. I had to dig out the safety pin that was stuck to the batting because I had it up and I didn't want to get it glued in, I'll say. Now, I have done quilts smaller than this with Elmer's glue. Just smooth it out and spread it on, and it seems to work really good. Well, spray basting works really good too. It's just, this is such a big quilt. I know this is kind of drawn out, but it's just, some people might want to see all the parts of it so that you can know that when you're actually doing it, it's not unusual to have to go back and reposition and lift up and reposition, and that's something nice about the spray basting, is that it's not permanent. You can peel it apart and put it back on. Keep trying to get the wrinkles out. So the normal thing I do with smaller ones is I spray the back of the top and the back of the backing, and then position the back first like I'm doing now, and then position the front as smooth as possible, and then flip it back over and press it. And that it doesn't make it permanent, but it helps it to stay together better while you're shuffling around with it while you're quilting. The last king size quilt I did, I had an old long arm, which was just so much easier for setting it up. At first, sometimes I thought, oh, that was so much work to put the backing and put batting and put that. And as I'm doing this one, I was thinking it was way easier to do it on a long arm and not have to worry about batting. But it is doing good. Now I'm going to flip it over and smooth it out so I can add the top to it. But at this point, I'm tired. I've gotten a little overheated, and I'm thinking, I don't know if I could do this. I'll just do it later. So when I went out this morning to try and do it, my back is sore, and I thought, I can wait a few days. That batting, that top adhesive will stay good. So I have to pick up, because once you put the top on, you're not going to get all those little threads off. So now's a good time to make sure your batting is as nice as it can be. So here I am back in the sewing room, and this is what I'm working on today with my girls. I'm doing this counted cross stitch, but I had taken it out of the hoop. Now I need to put it back in my Nurge hoop. This is the project I made the grind guard for last week. That's the project I'm going to be working on. So pretty. Just getting down into the flowers is making me so happy. I love working with those colors. So I'm getting it on the hoop. This is a pretty nice hoop, but you can see why I needed a wider grind guard, because I have to roll up all that fabric into the grind guard to protect it, because this is a big project and I'm just working on it a little bit at a time. So I have to roll it, and then I pull the the grime guard over, and I do wish it was a little bit wider, but I didn't, and it's okay. You'll see when it gets all put in there. It works. So that's my vlog for the week. That's what I've worked on, is the basting of the Bargello and a little bit of counted cross stitch. And it's been a good week. So I will chat with you more next Thursday when I do part 2 of basting the Bargello and bring it into the quilting machine. I will show that to you. And there's the final setup.